Oh, hey guys, I didn't see you there. What was that? Bianca! Make sure to subscribe and join the family! Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is another episode of Restoring to Lynnlife. So today we have with us Luxor for the intro, but today we are fixing both Caroline and Mckenna. Now, originally I was going to make each of these episodes just one doll being fixed up. However, I actually lost some of the footage of Mckenna's makeover as well as the very end of Caroline's, so I am combining them both together because together they'll last probably about 10 minutes, which is typically my episode length, and I don't want to kind of, make a bunch of short episodes for you guys. So I'm going to show you both of the dolls and how they turned out, and I'm really excited about both of them because they turned out better than I could have hoped. So stay tuned to the end to see the big reveal. Of course, before we get started, a couple of quick announcements. The first is that I am planning on a quick trip this weekend that could or maybe will kind of result in possibly potentially at all. I don't know yet, but that could be fun. And also Rebecca, I still have the thing going where if I can reach 450 subscribers by the 21st of this month, I will order Rebecca. But again, no pressure on that, but subscribe if you like my videos. It means the world to me. Thank you guys so much. And at the end of today's video, I'll also answer a question of the day. So without further ado, let's get started. So something really cool about all these dolls I've been making over lately is that I actually have each of the dolls I'm fixing already, so I can compare them before and after and do the big grand reveal and have it kind of have something to compare it to. So on the left we have the fixer-upper Caroline. She obviously is going to be quite a bit of work. And on the right we have my Caroline, who I got at the benefit sale quite a few years ago. The cool thing that I'm noticing right away with these dolls is that the doll on the left actually has darker eyebrows than my Caroline, and I looked this up and there was actually a thing American Girl did where earlier on the Carolines had lighter eyebrows, but later on they changed them to be darker. So I have an earlier Caroline, which is actually really cool, and it makes me love my Caroline that much more. So I'm considering keeping both of them at least for a while and seeing, what I can do with two Carolines. But let's take a look at the Mckennas. So next up we have the Mckennas. So the Mckenna on the left is obviously mine that I got back in 2012, and the one on the right is the fixer-upper Mckenna. My Mckenna has a hairline that starts a lot lower than the other one. I have no idea why, but I personally prefer mine. But at the very end I'll put them both in the same hairstyle so you guys can really see what I'm saying. And the fixer-upper Mckenna definitely has some issues on her face. She has some pen marks and that shine mark that actually, if I'm gonna be a spoiler, I never got that shine mark off, but I'm working on it. I'm gonna try something new. But the point is, this doll is going to be sold and she will make somebody very, very happy, I'm sure. So first up, I started to clean Mckenna. If you haven't already seen my last restoration video of Samantha, go check that out. I'll talk a little bit more in depth in that video about how I clean them, but I'm just cleaning her face and wiping it down and just making sure that everything is dirt-free. And then the harder things like pen marks and shine marks can be dealt with later if they're a little bit more hard to deal with. But mostly I just try to get the dirt off and make sure that they don't have shiny skin and that I can see very clearly where the kind of bigger flaws lay. And then I move on to the limbs, and that's kind of where I decide that, either the doll's clean and I just need a quick magic eraser, or that I'll actually have to really deep clean her. But typically the magic eraser works wonders. They're very cheap, they're definitely worth the money, and I've noticed that the off-brand magic erasers definitely don't work as well, so just go for the magic erasers. You will not regret it. It's so easy and it will save you a trip to the doll hospital, which is obviously very, very expensive. But then I just go through all of her limbs and make sure they're all really pretty and clean, and then I move on to Caroline. So because Caroline's exactly the same process as far as cleaning her limbs, I just skipped it and moved on to hair. So here you will see me brushing through Caroline's hair. I'm going to show both dolls with their hair process because it is different. But with both of them, I start from the ends, get all of their hair super wet, not super wet, pretty damp, and then I brush from the bottom and work my way up to the top of the hair, just making sure that I don't pull too hard on anything so that you have minimum loss with their hair, because when you brush their hair and they've gotten this bad, there will be hair that falls out, but you just want to minimize the amount because it's not fun if your doll loses a ton of hair, obviously. So we are just going to go through and do the entire hair just like this with Caroline, and then at the end, once everything's wet, I just finger curl. If you guys don't know how to finger curl, I did make a video on it a couple months back. I'll link it in the description down below if you haven't already seen it, if I remember. Okay, so now we're moving on to Mckenna. Now Mckenna's hair is slightly different, but not really as far as this part. All I did exactly the same thing was get the hair wet and then brush it from the bottom and work my way up and go all the way around her head. The only difference with this doll is that she has straight hair, so at the end I didn't finger curl it, and usually I don't do this, but with this doll in particular, her hair was very, very bad, even after brushing all the way through it, so I did straighten her hair, which is something that I don't recommend for younger viewers. I actually did record it, but it got deleted, which seems to be a sign to me that I shouldn't have put it in here anyway. It is something that I know it's similar to eye swapping, where you should be aware of what you're doing or have parents help. If you guys do want to learn how to straighten your doll's hair, there are lots of tutorials on YouTube, but I am not going to be making it as of now. Just make sure your doll's hair is always very wet, and it can be scary, so just be aware of what you're doing. But yeah, Mckenna's hair turned out great, as you guys will see in just a second. Alright, here's the grand reveal of Caroline. So on the right is obviously my Caroline, and on the left is the new one. Some things I've noticed right away is that the new one looks a lot more like Lainey than mine does. I never compared my Caroline to Lainey ever, and then when getting this one, she definitely looks a lot like her. That's kind of crazy. Other things I've noticed is that their outfit's actually a little bit different. I feel like American Girl does have a huge variation in their dolls. Even their face shape is significantly different. My Caroline has a smaller nose, and I think her eyes are a little bit smaller. Obviously just the eye sockets, not the actual eyes themselves, but there is a huge difference. The Caroline on the left definitely has a little bit of a lighter skin tone, and mine has kind of more yellowy orange undertones. I'm not really quite sure why that is, but it's very interesting to see the difference between the two because there definitely is a huge one. But overall, I'm really pleased with how she turned out. They look very different, almost to the point where it looks like I have two separate dolls, which is why I'm considering keeping them both for a while, if not for a long time. I have no idea yet, but it could be happening. I am temporarily naming the new one Caspian, or Cassie for short, because it goes cute with Caroline and it's, you know, sea themed, and Caroline has the whole sailing thing going on. But anyway, let's check out Mckenna. So here we have both the Mckennas. If you guys couldn't tell, the doll on the right is mine with the blue bow, and the doll on the left with the purple bow is the new one. Some changes I did make to Mckenna that I didn't talk about. The Mckenna that I fixed, like I said, I did straighten her hair, she looks a lot better, but I also added gloss to her lips because her lips were just a little bit, there wasn't enough paint on it, it didn't quite look right, so I did add gloss to her, which I love the look, and I kind of want to do it to mine, but I'm collecting mine. Like, obviously she's a collector's doll and this one was already kind of ruined, so I'm afraid to do it, but I really love how she turned out, and I actually like her a little bit more than mine in this photo right here, just because, I mean, come on, like the gloss with the sleek hair, and I don't know, maybe the forehead's kind of growing on me, but either way, that's what I did to her. I do really like how she turned out. I'm a little bit mildly obsessed with both of these Mckennas. So for the remainder of this video, I will be staying in this frame and we'll just be going over everything and looking at them all and then going over announcements and exciting things coming up. So we obviously have two Carolines and two Mckennas. If you guys want to pause it and guess which ones are mine and which ones are not, you can do that, but I will let you guys know now. So the Caroline on the far left is mine, the Mckenna on the far left is not, the Mckenna on the right is mine, and the Caroline on the right is not. If that was confusing, I'm sorry. It probably was. But anyway, I think they're all really, really cute. I personally prefer my Caroline over the new Caroline, but I do like both of them. And I don't really know. I don't have a huge opinion on Mckenna. I feel like if I painted my Mckenna's lips and gave her gloss, I would actually like mine more, but the gloss just does something for me where I'm really liking the new Mckenna. Like, I really, really like her, so I'm sure I'll be selling her. I don't have plans to keep her, I just don't have room for her, and I don't really need two Mckennas, so she will be going up for sale along with Samantha sometime soon, and potentially sometime Caroline. I really don't know yet, but I'm definitely keeping her for the time being. So if you're curious about that, I am not currently selling Caroline or the other two, but I will be selling them soon, likely around Thanksgiving on an eBay page. So real quick before I sign out for the day, I am going to answer another question of the day. So this question comes from Vanilla and Vinegar, and she asked if I'd ever make a custom movie character. The answer is yes. I would love to make a Katniss, I'd love to make any characters from Percy Jackson, and I would love to make characters from Harry Potter, but that will be sometime in the future. So if you guys have any questions for my questions of the day, please leave them underneath my pinned comment under this video. And yeah, I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye, guys!